Oh my god. Let's get into it. As soon as the game decides to load. It's taking forever. Come on. Come on. You got this. The bars are counting upwards. Okay. Let's get in, shall we? In the bottom left-hand side of 2K Atmospheres, playing for Team Clest. And with a fantastic portrait, it's Sickest. And his opponent in the top right-hand side, the pride of GDAT. It's matrixx. In a TVZ for the beginning of the tournament. I was going to say for the ages, but... Oh, I need to change the challenges, don't I? I need to change that quick. That's fine. We're just going to keep an eye on the start here. Bum-ba-dum. So, nothing massively cheesy yet. Yeah, it looks like a fairly regular start. That's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly change the thing over. Okay, we haven't decided what next week's challenge is, but we'll do that. We'll worry about that afterwards. So, bit of scouting happening here. And again, it's a fairly placid start. Nothing too weird. The thing is, actually, I do like this. The placement here basically says he's going to put a reactor on this afterwards. Which is why he's left himself that space there, because the wall is here. Whereas on the Zerg side of the building, actually, weirdly, I would quite like to see that here instead. Because then it blocks the Reaper from going behind the mineral line, and you can... and you can basically just, you know, prevent them from getting so much maneuverability by positioning your building just here. But I don't know how much of an importance that is. The SCV's been in and has scouted. The base is there. Basically, his function was, am I getting cheesed? And it turns out, no he isn't. But that's fine. And there's the factory. Where's the reactor? Ka-chunk. Does he have the gas for it? Yes, he does. There it is. Second gas coming down. And the Reaper doing the Reaper dance. He's got a kill, actually. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. That's what you want. Uh-oh, and now he's going to die. Ooh, okay. The Reaper sneaks out. Will he get more kills? I don't know. Who knows? Oh, he really wants that Ling. That Ling has, 3 health left. That is one shot from a Reaper. It just kills that thing. But he knows that matrixx has a third base. And now's the time to start putting on some pressure. Uh-oh, misclick. Bit of a missed click there. Hashtag Fields Batman. And potentially a tech lab on this. Oh no, he's going to make some Marines, and that's fine. Needs to be a bit careful on the creep. It turns out, Lings kill Reapers on creep. He might die before he gets off the cliff. Yes, he will. The Reaper actually slows down just a fraction before it jumps. You know, sort of bending its legs, so to speak. But yeah, that was one of those, oh, but come on moments. But unfortunately, yeah, you do lose Reapers by doing that. That's why you need to be a little bit careful. Because actually having the Reaper alive now would be incredibly useful. Like, yeah, you can deal with the Lings. But the point of the Reaper at this point is to soak damage from the Queens. If the Queen's shooting at the Reaper, she's shooting at something that will heal. She's shooting at something that will come back. If you damage the Hellions, they stay damaged. Until you manually repair them, and that costs money and APM, and it's annoying. There's a lot of creep tumors here, though. Very dense creep tumors right there. Thing is, you could send some Lings down to deal with that. They won't do an awful lot, which is why I kind of like the fact that there's a Queen going down, and that's the only response that's necessary. Spine coming down just to be sure that he doesn't have to worry too much about getting harassed. Again, a nice play. Um, decent chunk of Hellions, actually. I don't think you normally are meant to go that high. Ooh, bit of a supply block. Oh dear. It's fine though. I'm fairly certain the Hellions will die and can clear some up soon. This is one of the really difficult things about StarCraft. It's one of the reasons why it's such a tough game. There is so much to do, so even in a game like this that isn't particularly complicated, like this is a relatively simple game of TVZ. Uh-oh. Pew, pew, pew. And that thing's not in a position where it can't get shot down. It's not. It can get attacked there. Uh-oh. But it is difficult and annoying. And now we're going to see it post up in the main. And the thing is, if the alarm doesn't sound properly, there we go. Now that's actually going to be slightly harder to get rid of. You do actually need to maneuver around to this sort of area to shoot it down. But right now, all of the action's happening on the Zerg side of the map, which is exactly what Sickest wants. He needs to make sure that his opponent is busy all the time. You cannot let the Zerg macro, you cannot give them time to breathe, because if you do, their burst production will just drown you in stuff. Which is something that he's clearly afraid of. It turns out, Sickest is the sickest. 3 kills on this Liberator, not quite earned its pay yet, and if it stays over that Spore Crawler, it's not going to earn very much more. I got 6 kills, so it probably paid for itself if those were all drones. Yeah, 9 drones have gone down total. This little fight. I'm guessing some of them went down here as well. I imagine the Hellions probably have a decent kill count between them now. Yeah. 4 kills in that Hellion. Oh, you do not want to tangle with that many queens. The thing is, the third base coming up now means that, technically speaking, the Terran is way ahead on workers. He's got 3 sets of mules, which are about 3.5 workers each. So we're looking at something along the lines of 10 extra workers that he's effectively got. As long as he can spend his mule energy correctly. This needs spending, but that's fine. Like, again, this is a really hard game. There is a lot to do, and micro is much more intensive than macro. There we go. Mules, mules, mules. If I look at the income graph, Sickest is doing pretty well for himself. He's got full saturation there. He's got more or less full saturation there. And he's starting to transfer workers over to the third base. And again, like, this is a nice little push. He's just macroed himself up some forces, and if he can get in there before the Banelings morph, maybe he can't. The thing is, I think with the Wall of Queens and the Spine Crawler, I think this might be a hiding to nothing. Like, maybe if they turn into Hellbats, maybe. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is the dance. Trying to stay on the creep. Uh-oh. Where are the medevacs going? Now's the time to run back to the main, boys. The thing is, there's not really enough to do any serious damage here. Like, there's a couple of Marines that can shoot up, and some Hellions are nice, I guess. But now, the Lynx can just get us around, and basically Terran has to leave. Like, now is the time to get out of there. But the thing is, he can now go back in on this base, probably. Or we can see this attack pushing up this side of the field, which is also one of the ways that Terrans excel. Multi-pronged assaults are a staple of the Terran battle tactics. Like, poke here, poke there. Make your opponent run around, make your opponent chase you. They have decent maneuverability, specifically because all of the Zerg units have to... at this point, go up via ground. Whereas the Terran ones can just medevac from the third to the main if they want. And this is a beautiful attack. The Banelings are going to shut this down if he doesn't get in there quickly. But while that's happening, this attack's happening up here. Uh-oh, the medevac's being focus fired. But while that's happening, this is happening. And getting a couple of Widow Mines in the right place can actually just cause a lot of chaos. Especially because his natural retreat path runs past the Widow Mines, which means if the Lings run out there by themselves, they will die. There's another little push coming up this side. It's not as big a push as the last one. It's definitely not as intense a thing. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Can he deny? Yep, base denied. And the thing is, you know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen. The second that the Terran... Oh my goodness, that was pretty effective. And that's probably not the best way of spending your Banelings, but there we go. Oh, that was pretty nice. Because they didn't have a screen of Lings... Oh, those Marines are having a bad day. They are walking to their ultimate demise because of this happening. It's not the most cost-effective way of attacking the natural, but, I mean, right now, the units that are coming out to fight them are not very numerous and not very efficient. Like, you don't want to attack into this with just lings. Especially if your opponent can get to the banelings before they start morphing. Oh no, he's focusing the baneling nest itself. I think he's just going to get out of there. He's just gone. That's a really smart play. Actually, even better, this play here, just putting in Marines in a couple at a time. This is one of the things about being a Terran that's difficult, is that in TVZ, splitting versus lings is not great, but splitting versus banelings is mandatory. You have to be able to... Oh my god, there's a whole bunch of move commands here. Uh-oh. There was a hitch there, I'm not sure who that was. And thanks to the overlay, we know that this is happening too. And the thing is, while that's happening, while the Queens are killing that off, this base might legitimately just die. Right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, we've got 2-2 for the Terran. His upgrades are good, and if he just pulls out now and just gets out of there, he can attack the third at the same time and kill that again. And basically, matrixx is getting choked out of this game completely. It's beautiful play by sickest here. He might well be the sickest. Oh, except for those medevac plays. That is close. Those Marines are like, hey guys, can you come and pick us up? Thanks, guys. Oh my god, I actually cannot believe that he just did that. Okay, so those medevacs are at risk. They've both taken quite a lot of damage. And now they're going to come and drop over here. And while they're dropping over here... Are they going to drop over here? They saw the natural. They saw the natural being rebuilt. Potentially they can drop on this base, and then when they attack, when the defenders move up to defend that base, you can see he's already moving his army in! Because he knows that the Zerg army will respond to this attack on his base, on their base, by moving up. And they... Okay. Oh, lurkers are up, so this is going to get tricky now. But honestly, the idea that our Zerg player has the economy to do this still is just... It's not really a thing at this point, is it? Like, the lurkers are there to defend, but they can't really do an awful lot. You can't just maneuver them across the battlefield. Oh, those medevacs are both dead. Slight overstay there. It's easily done. It's very easily done. The big problem here for our Zerg player, however, is the fact that he's got very little in the way of income. And the fact that these lurkers are being picked off by the Marine host. Oh, buddy. 11 workers have gone down. The Queens are going to start falling here. And even though the Marines are very badly damaged by their own stimming and incoming damage, matrixx will GG out. And a beautifully solid game to start us off. That was very, very nice. Very nice. Very cool indeed. I am currently taking suggestions for the challenge for next week, because this week's challenge, which people can send replays to, novawarfun@gmail.com. Yeah, that would be... I'm going to pick up some replays from that. Apparently we've got some of the cheesiest games ever, and you've got until the end of the tournament to send me some more replays of you being the cheesiest person in the world. So, second is Blackburn. Let's move straight into that one, shall we? Okay, but yeah, that's the thing. Ugh. So, yeah, we're going to go to map number 2, which is Blackburn, matrixx versus sickest, where sickest took a sick lead with some really, really nice play. Sickest checking that his opponent is in fact a Terran. Matrixx apparently playing Zerg. There we go, there we go. Sickest is ready, matrixx is ready. Let's good luck, have fun to both players. But yeah, so we're going to run through some replays quickly after the tournament. And then we'll see what cheese looks like. And we will know. And knowing is half the battle. But first, let's get into game number 2 between matrixx and sickest. Very much like. Okay, that took a moment. Let's get in game. Okay, in the bottom right-hand corner of this weird map, which does not have top versus bottom symmetry. In the red pieces, playing for Terran, it's Sickest. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg with everything to play for, it's matrixx. So, yeah, fairly standard. Looks like fairly standard build. We're not seeing anybody rushing out onto the map. We're seeing a hatch first. And again, I love the little placement thing. You don't have to pick your building up and replant it if... Oh, hello. And the scouting path is already baked in. He just wants to check whether his opponent has a natural or not, because that affects what he does. If it turns out the Zerg doesn't have a natural, or the natural isn't built enough yet, it means that they went pool first and early as well, so you can tell you're about to get cheesed and do something about it. What you do has to depend entirely on what the cheese is, but at that point you're making a Reaper anyway. You can go and find out what the cheese is while you bunker up at home. So, the Overlord going even slower than it normally would because it's going through a slow zone. In any case, just enough gas to make the Reaper. It's one of the things that I really like is the timings on these things. Like, the Reapers, if you do a Reaper opening, the Reaper will time out perfectly every time, once you get it down. But we are seeing, yeah, by the time the Reaper actually the Reaper has an advantage. It can jump down here, float across the map, possibly jump up here, maybe. Even if it can't, it's still a shorter path to jump up here than it is to go all the way around and come back in again. So the Reaper should get a nice quick scat. Let's actually have a look, see where it goes. Because I want to know, can you actually jump up here? And if it can, it should do. No, it can't. Okay. Slow zone. Okay. Oh, he's not even going for it. He's not even going for the quick way into the main. I'm actively surprised. So, the Reaper's sitting at the front. The Queen's on her way out, but she doesn't exist yet, so that drone will potentially die. Yep, that's one kill. That's... Hey, the Reaper's almost paid for itself at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, lordy, please let that not be me. Oh, no. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Nope. This Reaper's doing so much damage, matrixx's computer is crashing. I think matrixx may have left the game. It depends. We'll have to wait till we see him do any kind of actual conscious actions. Let's have a look, see if he's doing stuff. No, that's the other one.
Add-on complete.
He exists. Okay, he is still with us. eBay blocking the third. What is that? Other than incredibly... Oh no, matrixx. Yeah.
Game paused.
Okay. Matrixx is having latency problems, it seems. I'm willing to bet it's because he's playing from a long way away from the EU server. Really hope it gets better though, because I really enjoy like watching these two players play. Oh, shout out to Legoland for the raid. Thank you very much for the raid, Legoland. I'll thank you on stream. When the delay catches up. Oh, dearie me. matrixx trying to test himself out. So he's basically just typing stuff and seeing how long it takes between pressing enter and the words appearing. In theory, matrixx asking if he's ready. Just waiting for sickest to say yes. Okay.
Game resumed.
Right, let's hope that that lag spike goes away and stays away. We're seeing basically the same builds we did last time. We're probably, I imagine, we're probably going to... Ooh, interesting. We're probably going to see the go up to 6 Hellions and then Just build a bunch of Marines and go and attack him with it. I like the fact that basically he's trying to force matrixx to build here for his third, or potentially try and steal the gold base. But because this base is further away from the Terran, it makes it safer just in general. Whereas, I'm really expecting this bunker to get salvaged at some point. It just feels unnecessary at this point. Uh-oh, the Reaper's in trouble. The slow zone does not help him. Oh, unlucky if they just managed to get there slightly faster. Going through the slow zone. The funny thing is, I don't think... Oh no, matrixx does know about the eBay block. And therefore he's had to start here. He doesn't have the time or the units to spare to... He doesn't have the time to spare, he doesn't have the units to spare to go and clear the eBay block and to deal with the Hellions at the same time. So he's just being forced into a bad position where he's building where Sickest wants him to build. Sickest is like, you're going to build your third base here. And he's like, well, I guess I am. Because otherwise he has to kill this thing. And these Hellions are doing a lot of damage. Like, it'll be interesting to see, like, that gap between there and there is how much damage these Hellions have done. And it's not an insignificant number at this point. Wow, that's actually really quite a lot. This means that when the inevitable push comes through, I don't know, like in a few minutes' time, there's actually going to be quite a lot of, what is that? Okay. Okay, we're not doing the same build as last time because now there's battlecruiser involved. But yeah, the Hellions have done nearly 500 damage to this, potentially actually 500 damage to this building. And sneaking in and grabbing a worker. Nice, nice. And there we go. Now matrixx has the time to deal with this eBay block. He can now start setting up his fourth base, and that's fine. That's what you want to do. Like, as the Zerg player, you always want to have one more base than your opponent anyway. But in this case, it doesn't look like he needs to worry about Sickest getting his third. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that this base is already weak. These Hellions are going to clean up those Lings. And there's a couple of roaches out, which is nice. Actually, at this point, it might end up turning into somewhat of a race. It depends how many roaches come out before the battlecruisers do. And we're seeing burrow. Ooh. Ooh. Do I see... Gleal. But the roaches don't have burrowed movement yet. So is he going to go for tunneling claws? That would actually be sick if he did. Oh, one Hellion dies because the AI pathing does not permit it to do anything. Oh, battlecruiser's in the house. Actually, that's a lot of damage, especially because this thing's teleport will be off cooldown before it becomes a Oh, no. Yeah, no, you can just go down to that next base down there and kill this Spire before it even happens. I mean, that would be the primary target at this point. I mean, yeah, workers are good, but the Spire will kill your battlecruiser. I don't know. 12 workers dead, though. That said, on the other side of the map, there's a tank and a bunch of Marines to defend against. Actually, yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, the Zerg army's just like, no, I'm going home. But this base can now take a pounding. And this is one of the things that Sickest seems to do really well, is multi-pronged harassment. I'm actually surprised. I think what's happening is he's not realised that all of his depots are up. That's so much damage! He can't do all of it. He's going to have to leave for now. But, you know, that's fine. The battlecruiser gets away. Blackburn, best map for mech, says Legoland. Oh, thank you very much. Very useful knowledge. We're not seeing mech this time. But we're just seeing a lot of Marines. Marine tank medevac all day, every day. And +2/+2 coming up. +2 armor anytime now. Are we going to see the fusion core dance? Day 9 told us the fusion core dance. Are we going to see it in game? I don't know. Third base is going to land in front of these roaches and immediately get... There we go, immediately get chased away. Oh, is that bait? That might be bait. Tank is up. They're actually outside of range of the tank, but I don't think it matters. The number of roaches that just perished right there. That was pretty nice. The thing is, the difference between this game and the last game is that matrixx has an equivalent number of workers now. He's got we're looking at roughly 10 workers worth of mules. So we're probably looking at effectively 57 workers for sickest, effectively. So we're not looking at as much a bigger disparity as we were in the last game. Also, Marines are not the best against roaches because the roaches start with armor, which means they effectively undo one of the Marines' upgrades, and that would have been a really good time to do a bile shot on the tank. Oh no! Okay, this is turning into quite an effective push because matrixx is scared of it. I think if matrixx had just committed to going in and killing that tank immediately with everything he has, rather than just sending in his queens without support, oh no! Oh, that's super unfortunate. He'll clean this tank up, and the Marines as well. But now there's only 2 queens to fight this battle cruiser. Oh no! And they can't transfuse off creep, which is a very important thing to remember. That said, we are going to see some damage done to this base. Oh, an attempt was made to snipe the tank. Oh no! Okay, now's the time for the Zerg to pull back because there's an attack going on in his main, which will in fact deny his +1 armor if it chooses to. Nope, just going for the slaughter of the workers. Which, I mean, let's be real, it's a pretty good way of doing it. And matrixx is GGing out already. Goodness me. The multi-prong is too strong. The multi-prong is pretty good.